So in this screencast, I'm going to show you how to complete the module activities, the module project. So you have two activities that you're going to combine into one project. The first is you're going to be generating a QR code, and the second is you're going to be creating a graphic design using a program called Canva Design. And with this being I'll show you my example, being the end result where I've got a flyer here with a QR code built in. Okay, so let's get to that. You will be, first thing you're going to do is create a QR code. And in the last screencast I talked a little bit about what QR codes are. Really a helpful option to have so that people can quickly scan a QR code to go to a place that you want, whether it's a website, whether it's to retrieve your contact information. It's up to you, but these are very helpful, and you probably see them around campus or at different festivals, things like that. So I've got a short video here on how to use QR codes, so take a look at that, and 5 ways to use QR codes. And then I'm asking you to download a free QR code reader to your mobile device, your tablet, where you can scan these two, and just so you know that you're doing it right, this first one goes to your My ASU page, and this second one goes to my site where I've got my flyer built in. Okay, and then from there you're going to generate your own QR code reader. Alright, so let's click on that. And it's really easy. This is the only page you'll need for this. What you want to do, you've got all these options that you can send people to from your QR code, and you're going to paste whatever your option is into this field here. Most likely it's going to be a URL, but it really, you might have some different ideas as well. But let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my mind map here, my strategic planning map, just to kind of see where I initially felt like I was going to put this. And I felt like I was going to put it on my About page. I was going to create a flyer that gives a general overview of my nonprofit with the QR code on there. So what I want to do is go to my site and say, okay, which page do I want that QR code to go to? A lot of you will pick your home page, but some of you may pick one of your other pages that you might want to take people to. I chose to do my About page, which I've already got my flyer in there with my QR code. But I would want to take, when somebody scans this QR code, it's going to take me to this page. Now, what I have to do is go out and get the URL for this page. I'm in edit mode of Weebly, so I can't just copy this URL. Okay. Instead, what I need to do is make sure that I go to my live view, and to do that, I'll just click on Publish and click on my live view. Okay, and then again, if I want people to go to my home page, then I can just copy that URL. But for me, I want people to go to my About page. So when people scan this, they come to this page right here. Okay, so I will copy this URL. I'll go back to my QR code generator, and I will paste the URL in there. Okay, make sure you have the full URL, and I'll click on Create QR Code. Okay, and that'll generate my QR code over here, and you could test it out with your QR code reader by scanning it to make sure that it goes to the right spot. But what you want to do now is download this so that you have a file that you can use at a later time. So what I'm going to do is keep it on JPEG, and I'll do download. It says you'll download, will start in a few seconds, and you'll see a little arrow pop up over here when mine starts to download. You don't have to sign up for anything. This is just while you wait. They're asking you to sign up, but you don't have to sign up. You can just X out of here, and you notice that my QR code started downloading. So I will open it up, and there's my QR code. Now let me just show you something quickly. When it downloads, it's going to download as a zip file. Okay, you can't use this, but what you want to do is unzip this folder just by double clicking on it, and then it'll create your JPEG file. That's what you want, is that JPEG file. That's a picture file, and that'll be the one that you're going to use for your project. Okay, So let's put that aside for now, and we'll go to Activity 2. Activity 2 is Canva, which is a kind of a graphic design tool for web or print. Allows you to do blog graphics, presentation, Facebook covers, flyers, posters, business cards, invitation, a lot. I've got a link here to a screenshot of all of the different options that you can choose from, and I'll show you how you can look at these in a little bit more detail when you get to Canva. Okay, I've got a scoring guide here for you that you can look at. I've got some tutorials here. This Canva tutorial is helpful. I'll show you how to utilize the website. I've also got some design tutorials that you can look at if you are interested in really understanding what good design is. Then you can start to take a look at some of these, and it goes into color, font, images, backgrounds, shapes, and icons, and really how to use them appropriately so that your design looks the best. Okay, so these are optional, but certainly worth looking at. And then I've got a few additional resources here that you can take a look at, ways to use Canva, how to create compelling graphics. Okay, so you utilize all those resources, and then when you're ready to go, click on the Canva design, and it's going to take you to where you'll need to sign in. I'm already signed in, so it's going to take me to my splash page with all my previous designs. But what you'll see on yours is this create a design. Okay, and it gives you 6 options. You can also click on the plus sign here for more, and that'll give you all of the different options that you can choose from. So you may want to choose I'm going to choose a flyer here, but you may want to choose a business card. You can certainly do this for resumes as well. Desktop wallpaper, okay, social media, event covers, and things like that. Okay, so you decide. You've got postcards here as well. So you choose one that fits your site the best. Okay, so I'll go down and I'll click on flyer, and it'll come up, and I'll kind of give you an overview of the layout. So now that my page is loaded, this is my canvas area that I'll work, and these are my tools that I have over here. Before you get started, it's very important to notice that all of these elements have either a free or a $ with them. You are going to want to make sure that you choose the free stuff, otherwise you won't be able to download your finished product unless you pay. Okay, so I want to just make that clear right off the bat. All of these, whether they are layouts or whether they are shapes. Some of the shapes cost money. Some of the elements, if you want to do illustrations, okay, some of them are free, but you want to make sure that you identify the free ones, and then some of them certainly are going to cost some money. So as you can see, there's a lot of free ones that you can use, but just be careful of that before you get too far. You can also search, so if you want to search, mine's on dogs. Okay, you can see that these might have a lot more that are paid for, not as many that are free. Okay, now if I try to choose one, you'll notice that I have this Canva watermark over it, and it's got like a grid here. Again, you won't be able to submit a project with this watermark on there. Okay, I can't accept it, because that means you have taken somebody's media without paying them. And you'll notice when I try to download it, okay, it's going to ask me to pay money. Okay, so just be careful that you don't use anything unless you're going to pay for it. If you're going to pay for it, then by all means you use it, and that watermark will go away once you pay for it. Okay, you've also got backgrounds here that you can choose from. Okay, different backgrounds. You've got some layouts that you can choose and then fill out, replace the information. It's up to you. Okay, but again, some of these are going to cost money, okay, to use. Alright, so you want to make sure that you use some free ones. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I am going to just use a blank white background. Let's see here. There we go. Delete all that. I'm just going to design from scratch. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I know that I have a picture that I want to use that I uploaded. I uploaded my own picture. This is a Creative Commons picture that I have the right to use. I click on it and I can move it around and I can resize it, and I want his face really to be a big part of the thing of the design. So so I'm overlapping it, and part of the picture I'm not using, but I definitely want to make his face a big part of it, or her face, whatever dog it is. So you can bring in your own images. I can do some elements here, and I might want to use a shape. So I'll grab a square here, and I can resize that to fit the design. And it's always a good idea you can overlap, that way you don't have to worry about it being exact. What I can do when I click on the picture now, I don't want that black, maybe I want a blue, but I want a darker blue. Okay, so I click on the color here, and then I can change, I can change the wheel here if I want, the color wheel, and then drag the slider. Okay, so that's something I want. I can come up here and I can add some text. So I've got some options here for text, or I can do some pre-designed stuff. I don't like that, so I'm going to trash it, and I'm just going to drag this one here. Okay, and I'll type in maybe my tagline here. Okay. Or if I have my tagline, I can copy and paste it in here, and I'll drag it down. I'll resize it. Okay, obviously too hard to read, so I'll come up here and I'll change the color, and I'm going to make it a little smaller. Okay, so you can kind of notice, I mean, it's really a lot of drag and drop stuff. It is changing colors, it's design, but really it's really not anything too difficult. I want to also make sure I put my website in there. Oops, don't want to do that. Okay, but I will drag this down. And again, too dark, so I'm going to put it in maybe a yellow here. And comfy dog days at .weebly.com. Okay. And it's really about positioning, about how does it look, how do you want it to look, and making it look that way. Now I also have I brought in my logo that I created in the last module that I can put in here. I'm not crazy about the way it looks right now because I can't really see it that well over the picture. So what I can do with that is I can change the transparency of this picture here by clicking on the image, and then I've got transparency, and I can make it a little bit more faded so that it's not so pronounced, and I can see my logo a little better, but I really can't see my logo that great still. So what I'm going to do is go out to my elements again, and I'm going to grab another shape, and I'm going to position it right so that my logo is right on top of it. Now if you notice, I drag this shape on and it's blocking my logo. What I can do to fix that is click on the image itself, and then this back button here will move it back in the layers. Okay, so it just moves it behind my logo so that my logo is now visible on top of that black. And I want to change the color. Okay, and as you can see, now it looks it's obviously a lot more pronounced, so that it's easier to read. Okay. Another tip is if you click on the border of any of these elements and you use your keypad, you can move them around a pixel at a time. Okay. So I've got that. Now the last thing I need to do is I need to bring in my QR code because I have to have my QR code on my flyers. So um, what I'm going to do is go to my desktop, and I can go to uploads and I can upload my own image, or I can just drag it, my QR code, and drop it right in the middle here, and you notice that it then comes over in my uploads. And I've got a bunch here, but this is my latest one. When I click on it, it's going to come in the middle of my design. I can just resize it and fit it to the area that I need to. Okay. And I might need to do some more manipulating. Okay. So that it looks right. Okay. Now I could still certainly keep playing around with that to work on the design, but that's kind of a you get the idea of using all the different tools and backgrounds and whatnot, bringing in pictures, uploading your QR code, using the different layouts and whatnot, or the text elements, the shapes and the illustrations, the photos. Okay, so use any of these things that are free. That you're welcome to use them in your design. Just make sure again that they are the free ones. Okay. Now I wanted to just show you another one. I've got I created a business card last semester for this project, and I obviously don't have enough room to fit a QR code on there. So what I see a lot of people doing is I can click on this add new page and go to my uploads and put that QR code right on the back of my business card. So I see that a lot these days where people will have a business card, and I actually do this on my own business card, where I have my information on the front, and then on the back I put a QR code. That way people can just scan it and go right to my website. Okay. So that's how you create your Canva design. Really, there's going to be so many different variations from student to student out there. So just get creative. There's no wrong way to do this, but you want to make sure that you have something really that's eye appealing, that's catchy, that's great on your that'll look good on your site. Okay. In the next screencast, I'll show you how to download this and submit it to Blackboard and to put it on your site. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.